Good morning, and welcome to this edition of Ask the Advocate, your workplace and employment questions answered in 3 minutes or less. Chris A. from Griffin, Georgia writes, I've just joined a new organization in the middle of a pandemic, and I'm finding it very difficult to integrate into the culture of the organization. Most of my colleagues are working remotely, and I barely get to see any of them in person. What tips can you provide on how I navigate this landscape? Very good question, Chris. We have to remember that the COVID-19 pandemic created a number of remote working and hybrid work situations that have allowed people to utilize video technology and conference call technology to get their work accomplished. This is in lieu of gathering in person as we did pre-pandemic. And so obviously it has changed a bit of the way that we operate and navigate as an organizational culture. So with that said, here's a couple of things that you can keep in mind. Let's think about the time that you purchased a home, Chris. You selected the home that you wanted to purchase, and you selected the neighborhood that you wanted to live in. You did not get an opportunity to select your neighbors. So you moved into your home anyway, and you had to figure out how do you connect in with your neighbors to understand kind of the neighborhood culture, and how do you do so when you just don't know the folks that are around you and you didn't get a chance to select them? You probably united around some very common things such as neighborhood cleanliness and neighborhood safety. And over time, you found that you built some connections that turned into friendships. Well, it's the same scenario here. What I suggest is that after one of your video conference calls, you ask a few people to remain on the call and invite them to talk a bit about their career. You can ask them by name. Tell me how long you've worked in the organization. Tell me a little bit about the different roles and jobs that you've performed while you've been here. Tell me what's the biggest difference between how the organization functions when you started and how the organization functions today. Also ask them, if you were to give me one tip on how I can best navigate in this new normal, what would it be? And what you'll find is that when you're inviting people to talk about their careers and to give you ideas and suggestions, they're going to be more willing to bring you into conversations that happen either outside of those video conference calls and also inside of them. In other words, you've now created a buddy, and those buddies will be a huge asset for you throughout your indoctrination into the organization. And the last tip I'd offer, Chris, is remember, this experience is not unique to you. Every employee has been new at some point, and there will be a new employee that comes behind you. So make sure that you take them under your wing and share with them how you navigate it in this unique culture. And that's it, and that's all, Christopher A. from Griffin, Georgia. Your workplace and employment questions answered in 3 minutes or less. Please like, share, subscribe to this channel. Leave any questions you have in the comment section below, and we will answer your question on the next episode of Ask the Advocate. Your workplace and employment questions answered in 3 minutes or less. Thank you.